Welcome to the Millennial Mum Show, and it's me, your host, Tolu, the Millennial Mom. On the show today, we are going to be discussing marriages and everything within. Pre, post, in marriage, everything you can all imagine. Today, we have in the studio with us a marriage coach, and she's going to be giving us all the interesting things you want to learn today about marriages and pretty much what happens in marriages between couples, you name it, everything in between. So sit back, drag your chair, relax, and we'll be right back after the break. Welcome back, and it's still me, your host, Tolu, the Millennial Mom. And as I said earlier, that we're going to be discussing marriages. Yes, I have Mrs. Ololade in the house. Mrs. Ololade is the founder of Purple Lilies, and Purple, you know what? Why am I talking? Let Mrs. Ololade do the talking. Hello, Mrs. Ololade.
Hi, Tolu.
How are you doing
I'm
today?
I'm good to be here.
We love to have you as well, because I can't come and talk to them about marriage. I'm not certified, so please let us meet you.
Okay, so my name is Ololade Olusola. Okay. I am a certified marriage coach focused on love and marriage. Okay. What else do I do? My mission, my purpose, my passion is to make your marriage work. Okay. So I work with couples, I work with people that are getting married, I work with people that are going through conflicts in their marriage. Okay. I work to make sure that that institution of marriage that you have come into, summary, it works.
Fantastic, fantastic. That's just like, this is exactly what we are going to focus on today. Yeah. And before we go into that, I'm just going to start from the top. I'll take it from the top. Okay. And we're going to start from pre-marriage counseling.
Oh. Singles.
Yes, because there's this saying that, you can't know a person fully. Like, no matter how long you date for, like, there's always that part of the person that you find out maybe after being closer to them, or you're then married, you people live in the same time, then realize that this person eats like this, I don't like it, or this person, especially in Christian, courtship, where it's not like they get to, they're that close. Yeah, and that. So what is your take on pre-marriage counseling?
The most important time of counseling, most important. Okay. And for someone like me, that I also pastor along with my husband. Okay. So I'm also a certified life coach. Okay. So I have a balance. Okay. I can talk from the point of science. I can talk from the side of God.
Fantastic.
And it's amazing what we see, but it's the foundation of what you're about to do, the decision you're about to take, the step you're about to take. The most important time of counseling is pre-counseling. It's the counseling for singles. Okay. And in this present day world, so many things are happening. And sometimes even when people go into counseling rooms, into coaching rooms, it's important to say that a pastor, not all pastors are coaches. Okay. So there is a difference between somebody that coaches you through the steps of life, and there's a difference between somebody that teaches you the Bible. They're two different things. So we need to begin to separate the fact that counselors are different from pastors. Okay. Your pastor can counsel you, but necessarily coaching. Coaching is a higher degree of counseling. Okay. Because we take answers from you. We don't tell you what to do. Okay. So we just listen. The power of coaching is in listening to what the person is saying. Okay. So when you are listening to what the person is saying, we are going to find answers in your question, in what you're saying. So if I sit with somebody that comes to coach, and the beautiful thing about my coaching room is I don't coach alone. I coach with my husband. Okay. Because most times I work with couples. Okay. Yes, I work with singles, but I love it, especially when we are doing, now we are talking about pre-marriage, so don't let me go there. But most times I'm talking to people as a couple. Okay. I'm not coming to you alone. Okay. So be sure that you're going to have a balanced view.
Between both.
Yes. So my husband is going to speak. I'm going to speak. I coach with my husband. We are both certified life coaches and pastors.
Okay, because a lot of us get pre-marriage counseling. Yeah. It doesn't exactly mean that, it's the foundation for marriage, but it doesn't exactly mean that there's not going to be problem in the marriage. Yeah. So, which is why I said, let me take it from the top. Okay. So I got pre-marriage counseling, and right now I get into the marriage and I find that my husband is not who I, think. So how does the pre-marriage counseling, what's the purpose? Because you can't tell me that all the people that come to you now, they've not had pre-marriage counseling. Okay. They have. Does he help them? Did he help them?
Yes, well, to an extent. Okay, so that's why we are talking about coaching. And if you look around, there's so much, I would say, hype about coaching these days, but people like us that actually went to school of coaching, that were certified in coaching and are still on the journey of learning more, know that there's more to life. There's more to life just than somebody telling you, go and read your Bible. So what we've had before was a set of rules that didn't necessarily, what should I say, go deep into the, the heart of coaching, the heart of taking the person through the steps of getting, to that decision that you have made. So let me give a practical example.
Okay.
In our coaching sessions, we do what we call belief systems.
Okay.
I don't know, I can't say for some churches because I'm not in every church.
Okay.
But I can say that when you become a coach, you have a balanced view of, of taking couples, of taking in people that are planning to get married through a process.
Okay.
So if, for example, you come to me and you say that you are getting married, first thing I'm going to tell you that you should give me a history of your background.
Okay.
And from that, I'm able to make deductions about what your, what the step you're about to make.
Okay.
Sometimes I tell people, when we do coaching sessions, we realize that these people are not yet ready for marriage.
Okay. Do you tell them that?
No, you don't tell them that.
Why? Why not?
It is not our responsibility. You are going to come to your own awareness.
Okay.
Because if you
after the marriage.
Yes.
And that's why they come back.
Yeah. No, wait. A coach is not supposed to tell you what to do.
Okay.
A coach is supposed to help you to realize, to come to a place of self-realization and the importance of the decision you're about to make.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to live within your marital. I'm not going to live you at home.
Absolutely.
So I'm supposed to bring to your awareness. So what a lot of people do is that they are in love, especially for singles. It's always
everybody's been in love at a point. Like, yes. Oh, I love him. I want to marry him.
You see an average single come to you and say, I want to get married. I'm tired. I'm tired of being single. I want to get married. 6 months into the marriage, they want another appointment. What's going on? I'm tired. I want to go back to single life. I'm tired of it. That kind of thing. So basically, it's just exciting because of the balance. Yes, you need people to pray for you. Yes, you also need people to understand. Sometimes, because in this our environment, especially, a lot of people over-spiritualize things.
I agree with you.
You just need to know what to do because ignorance is, they will say ignorance is not good. And knowledge. These people say knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is power. Okay. Because you can actually know something. You can actually know something. You can know what you can know. You can have the knowledge, the know-how.
Able to apply
exactly.
It.
But when you know how to apply, which I think coaching takes you further. It teaches you how. It lets you understand your problem. You look at it from a balanced view. You don't think everything is spiritual. You don't think it's your village people. Or you don't think it's this thing that somebody said. You just tend to analyze your husband and say, this thing is from somewhere. Okay. Do you understand? This thing is from somewhere. And that's why in coaching we go to the root.
Yes. Okay. That's fine. But because now we're already going into, we've left the pre-marriage counseling and everything. We've left that. Then we go into timing. Because I believe timing is always key for everything. And let's say, for instance, marriage. What do you think in terms of timing? Like, at what point do I then think we need counseling? We need to see a coach. We need to see somebody about this marriage. Like, what is the timing for? What's the perfect timing for marriage? Because some people might just feel like, even during the marriage, as things are going on, maybe you might still need to have somebody, like some people have mentors, like have somebody that they talk to or reach out to that can give them some sort of advice. What do you think is the perfect timing? Something's going on in my marriage. When do I need to reach out to somebody?
Okay, it's important for us to also separate your mentor from your coach.
Okay.
Sometimes your mentor is not your coach. And that's the mistake some of us make. Okay. We feel that our mentor has problems. A certified life coach is trained to help you in this journey. Okay. So you are trained. I'm a certified life coach. Okay. I have tools I use to help you get your sometimes, do you know there are some people that actually have problems, they don't even know they have problems. Mm-hmm. Because especially the kind of environment, some people have mental issues, health issues. And because of the awareness that social media has brought into our generation, a lot of people are beginning to speak about abuse, about the aftermath of abuse and
which
all
is
that.
Normally some of the foundations of these issues.
Exactly. So when people say, what is the timing for the best time, like we've talked about, is before you get married. Really? Now, yes, that's the best time. Okay. But the truth of
pre-marriage counseling.
Yes, the pre-marriage counseling.
But why is it that pre-marriage counseling only happens in church?
Not anymore.
Churches. Really?
Not anymore. Okay. It's because that's why people like us are here. Okay. Now, initially, people just used to do, you're getting married.
Go and talk to your pastor.
Exactly. Go and meet your pastor. Go and see your pastor. But not all problems are spiritual. Sometimes we have problems based on what we call mind shifts.
Okay.
We have problems based on belief system. We have problems of emotional mastery. These are not churchy things. These are just
absolutely.
These are just common sense. So if you grew up, for example, in an harsh environment, like somebody is always shouting on you,
you're beating you,
and you know you're not even conscious of the fact that you have a low self-esteem. You go to marriage, and marriage exposes you, because marriage exposes all of us.
Absolutely.
Strips you of all that courage.
Everything.
Because you are in a house with somebody. Before, maybe the guy was just coming to pick you, or you were going out together. You never used to live together. You never used to do anything. But now, you have to sleep on the same bed. You have to, you see the person in, clear words, the person is naked
before you.
And when they say naked, not necessarily
literally.
Body, you literally see through everything. So no matter how powerful somebody is, no matter how tough somebody is, you see that, you see some men say, my wife is my everything.
Mumu button.
Mumu button. Because why? The woman knows everything. And the husband say, it's just like my husband. My husband say, where are you going? Where are you this madam?
I
see you finish. That kind of thing. Okay. So basically, marriage exposes us. So there are deeper issues that, especially in this part of the world, because we see people that go for coaching. There's something wrong in the person's mind. You see people that go for counseling or go to see, that person is not okay. When the person says that, the person is stressed, you say the person is mad. The person is not mad. Okay. The person just needs time to just, decluster stress. Lagos traffic alone.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So people just need to declutter. People just need to chill. People just need to relax. People just need to come back and say, you know what? Let me take things easy.
Okay. Because because I looked at it and then, I talked about premarriage counseling and everything. And now I personally always feel like it's a church thing. At least now I know that people can actually go to regular coaches and go get like advice instead of just saying, okay, I'm only going to see a spiritual person. But we're going to touch on things like that unhealthy things in the marriage. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to come and discuss other issues surrounding marriage. Welcome back. We're still here with Mrs. Ololade, and she's telling us all the stuff that we need to know about this marriage thing. So yes, I am going to quickly touch on signs of a very unhealthy marriage, because like you said earlier, you said some people don't even realize that they have a problem.
Yeah.
While to some people outside, we're looking at them and thinking, what's going on here? And they're just there. What are the signs of a very unhealthy marriage that you can see, or couples should actually notice, and then they should think to themselves, you know what, I think we need to see somebody and talk to somebody. Yeah. What are the signs?
Okay, so there are plenty signs.
Okay. Well, let's narrow it down to like 5.
Okay, so let's say
because there are people watching that would like to just think, Abi, is something wrong with us? Because it takes, like you said, knowledge is power. It takes you to come to the realization of something, and before you decide, something is wrong. So give us like.
Okay, so first I would say abuse. If you are in any form of emotional, physical abuse. Emotional abuse is worse.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Once you finish this, we'll talk about emotional abuse.
And emotional abuse is worse because also the problems are enormous. But number one, when you feel like somebody keeps belittling you, like you don't feel special anymore, you start having fears to go home. It happens for both men and women. So when you're at work and you just think about home and your heart is throbbing, you're going to see this man again, you're going to see this woman again. You begin to know that those are the signs of danger. You should see a coach.
Okay.
So when you start seeing outbursts, unnecessary outbursts, maybe your spouse is stressed, and you just say something and you're like, what did I say?
Why are you so angry? What happened?
Why are you so angry?
Yeah.
You should actually see a coach.
Okay.
When you start seeing things that you didn't see before, when you start seeing, because they say women, we have 6 senses.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can't touch and feel it,
but you just know that
something is
not right.
Something is not right with my husband. Something is not right with my wife. You need to talk to a coach. The good thing is that we are starting a marriage company, I and my husband, in some few weeks' time. Okay. And there, you can always talk to us. You can talk to, there's so many coaches right there. Even now on Instagram.
Saying there's so many coaches doesn't mean they are all good coaches, because some people just want to listen to you and they might not be able to prefer the right.
Okay, so if maybe at the end of the show I'll give my details. If anybody's watching and feels like all these signs, you can send me a mail, you can send me a DM on Instagram, you can talk and see who I will take it. But that's for later. So if you feel that you have, emotional outbursts, sometimes depression, I think we should have actually started with my story, which I think we'll also talk about later. You can come to that place, or you just feel depressed. There are sometimes that you are just depressed. In Nigeria, we don't talk about these things. We don't. I'm sure. But in the next few years, I think 2030, depression will be the most leading causes of death worldwide, especially the exposure to social media and all that. And a lot of people don't know that these things affect our mind because we live in an environment that people are not, they're not emphatic with people that have mental health issues. True. So you just recently, when we started having social media, we started hearing that people
are committing suicide.
But people have been committing suicide for
a long time.
But because we live in a society that when you come out and say somebody raped you, they'll say, it's a lie, Joe. She's the one that went to the person's house. There's so many issues. Or if a woman comes and says, you've been abused, the mother can say, better stay there. That's what me too I saw. You better take it like that. So there are so many issues. There's so many issues. So there are also issues of child abuse. These days, the other day, I was, a friend of mine was, she was talking about it, and I'm like, my heart could not even take it. I was like, you know what? Just get help. Get help. Immediately you see that your husband or your wife is, abusing your children, sexual abuse, whatever way. Where do you, I don't know, sometimes we just keep like, things are going to be, or the most annoying thing, we are praying about it. Oh, good. God has heard you, but you need to take action. Take action and protect your children. Because even in the church, we hear so much and we're like, hello. And I thank God for the fact that I and my husband, we are coaches. We are coaches. So that works for me. That's better for me because I know that we are speaking the same language. So when somebody comes to see us, we can differentiate when it's a spiritual attack and when the person just needs signs. It's as simple as that. So that's it. Okay.
Now, I'm sure a lot of people watching us as they heard some of the signs, and this is like it's also a reach out call for somebody out there that is probably going through, a phase, some sort of abuse, emotional. I am very particular about emotional because physical. You can say this man hit me. This man.
There's proof.
Yes, this man slapped me. To my cheek. Or this person did this to me. Right. Or emotional. You are there hurting inside. And sometimes, you can't even put these things into words. It's until the person talks to you and then you know that, this is what is wrong with you. And they're like, okay, yes. So some of the signs she has mentioned, if you have any, of the signs and you feel like you need to talk to somebody, you need to reach out, please do. It is very, very important. It's important for you as a person. It's important for your well-being and the state of your marriage and your children. So that's just my own personal tip, advice.
And break the cycle because we actually live in an environment now that people complain a lot about the men. Some people are complaining about the women. But the truth of it is that there are cycles that have not been broken. Okay. So somebody that has been abused, when you look at the root of the person comes to you for coaching, came from an abusive family. His father used to hit his mom. And then his mom is not normal. Children, 0 to 7 is the formative years. They don't have anybody to tell them is right or is wrong. So the only thing they see that dad do is to hit their mom. And they keep it, is reserved. So when they grow up, they can't control it. It's a mindset that's been saved in their minds since when they were young. So even as much as they come in and they're Christians, they're fantastic, they're doing well, there's a seed that has been sown. So when they're upset, that thing comes back and they hit that. So it's not spiritual attack. We just need to work on that person and say, no, you need to consciously come out of that thing because we are controlled by our subconscious. Sure. Whether we are, what does the subconscious work? When you want to learn how to drive, for example, the first time you put your leg on the stuff, you go and you do stuff and people are like, you're like, will I ever learn how to drive? You'll be shaking. I remember it was my husband out there. My husband was like, what kind of thing is this? Put your leg out there. My husband said, oh my goodness. So you take it like that. But one day you just realize that, is it not this driving? I can't do this. Remove the leg now. You just carry the car, boo, 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 and you're off. That's the same way mindset works. So we are controlled by the subconscious, something that has come into our spirits without our knowing. So we need to consciously come out from that subconscious. So that's how the subconscious works. And that's what happens in marriages. We need to break the cycle. So people come and say, oh, my husband hit me, my husband do this. And sometimes I feel for them. I'm compassionate towards men. Because I know that our generation, our world, we don't, truthfully, we don't
be compassionate towards men.
Yes.
Because I have a question on it, and it's this gender role thing.
No, we are coming to that. All the questions, I'm ready for it today. So, but these days, I'm compassionate because I have a son.
Okay.
Even when people say the future is female, I say, God, what happens to my son? I'm compassionate.
You already
towards
have
men.
a spot.
I'm compassionate towards men, and he says, oh, my husband is hitting me. He's going crazy. I'm like, calm down. And when we call them and say, okay, fine, we've spoken to you, can we speak to him when he comes into the class? We ask questions. Most times, 90-something%, it came from an abusive home.
Okay.
So it's a cycle we need to break, and we need to break it consciously. Okay. So that's it.
Okay. This cycle thing, I understand, because I don't know how it happened or why it happened. A lot of millennials grew up seeing their parents being hit by, grew up seeing abuse. And I know we are trying consciously to break the cycle here because now there's a lot of awareness about abuse. And now women are not staying in abusive marriages anymore. So it's not like, unlike before, this person is hitting this person and they are there. So it's like, one, they don't have anywhere they're going to. They're going to be there. So now it's like, because sometimes these men actually love their wives. Some don't. I don't know. And it's like, oh, this person is going to leave me. Maybe that also helps. I don't know. But the truth about it is that women are not taking it anymore. They are leaving. I don't know. Maybe that is going to help break the cycle as well. But we as millennials also need to do the needful. Like you're talking about being compassionate about your son. Yes. We need to train children that are, they have empathy. They are loving. It's about training our children the way we want, we want the future to be. The way we want the future to be. And that's why I wanted to touch on this whole gender role expectation. Like you've been talking about, when women reach out. Do men reach out?
Okay, so that's a very powerful question you just asked me. And I asked one of my, these days I have deep conversations with my husband. Because of my son. So I'll give you a practical example. Okay, in my home, recently, I started hammering my son to cook. When my son was young, he liked to cook. But if he gets somebody to help him, he's going to relax. But when I hear all the things that is going on social media, I told him, I said, Olusola, you have to learn how to cook. You know why you have to cook? You might have all the money in the world. You might have stuff, but there might just be one day that your wife might be 6 months pregnant and she can't do anything. What is going to happen to you? You just have to put yourself in a position where that you are okay, with or without help.
True.
The truth, yes. The beginning, the foundation of this thing is that we need to correct the things that are wrong. And I tell you, correction is not easy. Because we don't like change. We like doing the things, they will say, "Boshen sheni kamashe" in our language, meaning what the way they've been doing it is the way they should be doing it. So, but we need to consciously, especially people like us that are positioned, privileged, honored by God, in a place whereby we can influence people. We need to consciously start doing this thing for the sake of our generation. We live in a different generation. The influence of, social media has brought so many awareness. Especially they'll say Gen Z, I mean Gen Y. Sometimes when I read Twitter, I'm just like, God help us.
You know what? You know what? Wait, please pause. Because I know this conversation is going to go into deep. And we need to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to hear everything she has to say about this gender-based role and how it works. So we will be right back. Welcome back. We're still here discussing marriages with Miss Ololade. And before we went on short break, I was talking about gender role, gender-based role, how, women tend to reach out more when there's a problem in marriages. And she was telling us how she's already starting from the foundation, building her son. So it's not like, oh, it's always about the woman has to do this, the woman has to do that. And yes, Miss Ololade, got back to you. And, you were telling us about your son. And you're already starting from
Yeah.
The
Because these days, yeah, because really, truthfully, let me not lie to you, I feel for men.
Okay.
You know why? Women, as much as women too, our eyes have seen. The mothers, let me not go to
from our mother's time.
Our mothers' eyes saw.
Yes, plenty.
But see, we can't do this alone. We can't stay in marriage alone, because what we are doing is that we are trying to correct it wrongly. Okay. So a lot of men, when women talk these days, are just pissed. So I was asking a guy the other day that came to one of our shows, and I said, why is it hard for us to have men in the coaching rooms? And he said, because in this part of the world, men are not vulnerable. Rarely will you see a man that opens up, that he was even jealous of his wife. You know, when his wife's friends come, they say, hey, babe, how are you? They talk about everything, and he's looking at them.
So what do men talk about?
Yeah, no, you know,
they talk about everything.
No, but you see some men, they say, my guy. They don't talk about deep issues. You know, when you have a friend as a woman.
But you know that's why they think women gossip, because they talk about and sometimes it's just what you need, your outpour. Talk about everything and let it go.
Yeah, so he was saying that, but the truth of it is that when it comes to deep issues that an average guy, even a guy wants to cry. I tell my son, cry. You're a human being, cry. Let out your emotions. Don't leave it there, because some men have piled up emotions.
Absolutely.
And marriage is the only place they come to express it. So the moment they see that expression like this, full blown. They use the full-blown expression on that woman, because that's the only time they can be there, because they're truly in love with somebody they like. So the truth of it is, first we need to start with one thing when it comes to this gender role. I'm taking this from a God perspective.
Okay.
Men and women are equal but different.
Men and
women are equal but different. Now, if you come and say, I am greater than this person is not on my level, you have gone against what God said. He said in the beginning, God created men and women. Okay. It is our environment and our society that has belittled women. So we need to first accept what God has done. Okay. Now, the fact that men and women are equal doesn't mean we are the same. That's the mistake another set of people. So people go like, I can do what men do. Hello. No, we cannot do what men do.
But God gave us that.
No, God gave us different roles.
Okay.
God gave us different. That's why we are built differently. Okay. And that's why God did not give everybody a V. And God built us differently for a purpose.
So you're trying to tell me that a woman can do what a man can do?
There are different things. I'm coming. I'm building.
You need to get there.
Yes, we'll get there. Now, what you are thinking about now is in terms of role. Now, I'm thinking about in the place of leadership, in the place of position. You cannot say no matter what. God that started the institution of marriage started it for us to have things to do in marriage. Okay. Now, let me give you a practical example in my house. My son, and these are practical things that we deal with in coaching rooms. Okay. If my husband enters the house, it's just the way it is. And my husband says, hi. You know, there's just this, hello, daddy. My husband talks. But me, when I talk, I will say that same thing 4, 5, 6 times, 7 times. I'll say, is it not the same thing I've been telling you? But the moment my husband just appears, my husband doesn't, I just say, your mom said that she told you that you should do something. Okay. So, daddy, I'm going. I'm doing it. Okay. So even we say that for single mothers, if your husband is not present, get a father figure for your son or your daughter. To differ on that one. Let me tell you, I'm coming. Let me tell you why. Yeah. Why? The problem with our generation, and that's why we're always amazed at the Gen Z, is because we think we know what we are doing until we have issues. Okay. Then we begin to accept the right thing the way it was produced and created. Okay. When God created this institution of marriage that we are talking about, He gave us rules and regulations to follow. Okay. Now, it did not say that you and your man cannot cohabitate, cannot come together, cannot do things together. But there are rules for each person to do. We cannot take that away. Okay. Now, wait, I'm coming. Because I know you want to talk for women. Now, someone like me, as I am. I'm not here for them. Wait, I'm here relax, Tolu. As I am, I will fight for women anytime. Go on. That's great. I will stand for women anytime. Okay. When people come to abuse, people come to see me now and they talk, I tell them, I say, relax. God has created women for this, and we will do this. Okay. Now, men should not try to be women. Women should not try to be men. Okay. I will give you a foundation of where the problem started from. Okay. And the problem started from way back in the Western world. When World War III was going on, before the gender role, the accepted thing was that, women will stay at home and be
Men
cooking.
will go and fight.
Men, when you go out and work before the World War,
Okay.
men will go out. It was well defined.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you go to work. Women, oh yeah, you go and cook. Now, when the World War started, the men had to go to and fight, and there was nobody to work. Women carried their bags and went to work.
Okay.
So when the men came back from the fight, their roles were taken. So in this present day world, what is happening is that, and just like what you want to say, you want to get married. The babe you want to get married to has a house. She has a car. She's doing well. She's doing fantastic. But because you don't understand how you are going to function, men are confused. They don't, because the ideal thing, I'm telling you the truth, the ideal thing is that an average Nigerian man, or I don't know of any country, they will tell that, but I don't go and marry. Let's be truthful. Don't go and marry that woman that is carrying Jeep or is driving G class. So she will come and dominate you in your house. So you are confused and you really genuinely love.
But my question is that does that sit right?
Of course it sits right if we know what we are. Wait, excuse me.
Okay, because I have to touch on certain things that you've said that really get to me about finding a father figure as a single mom.
Yes.
So I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of it. I had my phase as a single mom.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask, so if I don't find a father figure, does that make my child less of the person of the less than the child of the person in a married home?
I don't think so.
Because I don't think it is imperative for me to find a father figure.
So I want to
God is my father. God is his father.
Awesome. Now give it to me. Give me 5. Do you know that God, as a father, you have given your son a father?
That's all they need.
No, wait, hold on. It's a big need. Let me tell you, I'll give you a practical realization of my own life.
Go on then.
My mom was a single mother. She raised me up herself.
Did she look for a father figure?
She did not. I did. Looked for, yes. Because what
she didn't.
But she didn't. What I didn't realize, because if you are not conscious of that thing as a parent, and your child actually walks up and feel like, I need somebody I can listen to. I need somebody
listening to you.
Wait, because you can't do it both. That's the truth. You can't be
I don't agree.
Some people say that you have to be a father and a mother. I may be wrong, because in coaching we always say something. Everybody has their own line of thinking.
Absolutely.
Nobody is correct. Even in the Bible says nobody knows it fully. But the truth of the matter, what I'm trying to prove is that let us not try to be what we are not.
Okay.
Now, when I was growing up, my mom was a single mother. My mom fought. But I saw something. My mom was lonely. Okay. So I became...
That's how you deduced it.
No, hold on. No, it wasn't my deduction.
Okay.
I lived with my mom for 20, okay, I got married at 25.
Okay.
It was obvious. She didn't even need to tell me. We were everything. And you know this thing you are saying is what we are still doing. We cover up. We are like, we can do this. We are good when we are not good. Okay. So when I was growing up, it's just now that I became a coach. I said, what happened? Because then I was very, very, very involved in church.
Okay.
I realized that I unconsciously made my pastor my father.
Okay.
And through that, I was able to develop a relationship with God.
I'm very particular about making people having all these spiritual fathers. I'm very particular about. I will lose my mind if I have a child that is saying, "Oh, Pastor, can you no, no." Because I've seen a lot of weird things happen in such relationships, and I'm not about it. I'm sorry, no disrespect to pastors. I love pastors. I love the church. I love the Lord. But you better be making your relationship with me. I'm your parent.
Yeah,
I know you. I birthed you.
But when that parent is not there, what happens to you?
Where are they? That they will not be there.
Oh, you're talking like that because you are looking at it from your own perspective. Now, let me give you a practical. I've not finished. It's when I became a coach because I realized that the deep things in my life, when, that's what I say, we should have started this show with my story. When my lesson teacher when my lesson teacher then wanted to sleep with me, at the time of challenges when my mom had to handle that, I actually lost it psychologically because my mom did not handle it well.
The way she would.
Yes.
But pause. A lot of our parents did not know how to handle abuse, sexual abuse, and a lot of our parents are guilty of that.
Yes.
As in, they are. If any parent like our mom is watching, yes, you people were guilty of not handling this. It's true. Unlike now, any kind of thing like that happens, it's like people are not, they don't want to take it. So our parents were guilty of that. And you know what? Sorry, please go on. I just had to point that out.
Imagine if that burden at that time was shared. My dad was there. At the time I went, so what happened? I had a lesson teacher. This lesson teacher was my very good friend. Like, I saw him like a big brother.
Oh.
So it was even my grandma. When my grandma saw both of us, because those people, they have sixth sense, they see things. My grandma was like, she called my mom and said, "Why do you allow this girl to be alone with this guy all the time?" My mom was like, "What did you see? What did you see?" My mom was shouting, "What did you say?" My grandma said she didn't see anything, but she doesn't just like the rapport around them. My mom was like, "If you're a witch, tell us so that we'll know exactly where to take it from."
Guess.
So, that incident went until one day he came home. I noticed he came. Then my sister was doing GS3 exams, and he just walked into the house. He said he came for lesson. It was way before lesson time, and I saw he was drunk. So, and he came in and he said, "Hey, Dad, he didn't come for lesson now. That he just wanted to ask me a question. That do I have a boyfriend?" I was 14, going 15. And I was like, "Hello, I don't have a boyfriend." He was like, so I became scared because the reality of what was going to happen then
just hit you.
This fear just overtook me. I'm like, and I was the only one. My mom was out. My dad, I wasn't staying with my dad, I was staying with my mom. And he said, "So I want to be dating you." I was just looking at him like this. I just started wailing. I just started weeping. When he saw that, maybe he didn't know the expectation. He just told me, "Hey, sorry, clean your eyes." I didn't know what I said. You see, I'm drunk.
Oh my God. Okay, you need to. This story is getting really intense. You know what? We're going to come back to it. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to come and hear this. It sounds like a horror story, but we're going to come back and hear it. And you sit back, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, and it's still the Millennial Mom Show, and we still have Mr. Ololade in the studio with us. And actually, I don't know why I keep saying Mr. Ololade. It's Mrs. Olusola, right?
Olusola.
Yes, we have Mrs. Olusola in the house, and she's going to finish up her story about her lesson teacher. Please.
So he came that day, and when he left, I started having panic attacks. That fear came over me. And, my sister came back from school. I told her what happened. My brothers had just moved to the United States then, so I didn't have that male figure to talk to. And my dad was not.
But just to confirm, he didn't do anything, right?
No, he didn't do anything.
Good.
He was just, because maybe he didn't expect, maybe because we're so close, he didn't expect me to cry. Maybe I've been expecting this. That guy, I don't know what was
I'm sure he must have, gotten drunk to get
confidence to do that. So my sister was like, "What will I do?" I said, "I'll tell my mom when my mom comes back." So when my mom came back, I didn't tell her initially. I was so scared because I know that my mom, although my mom is late now, died. It will be 13 years in December. I miss my mom.
Oh.
But the truth of the matter is, when she came, when I couldn't sleep. So around 2:10, I went to meet her. I told her, "This is what this person did." Hey, fire! My mom just said, "Are you pregnant?" I said, "Hey, yeah." I said, "I did not say that." Mom said, "Are you pregnant? Are you okay?"
Oh my God! God bless our mom.
We are going to the family doctor. I said, "Hey
God, this is it."
So he went. Everything just went wire. So my mom took us to the family doctor. The family doctor came out to see me. He was like, "Am I sure that?" I said, "You didn't sleep with me." That the only thing I told my mom was that the guy tried to ask me out, and all. Mom said she doesn't believe me. They should check. So they did tests. And I said, "There's nothing wrong with this girl," but I had an emotional breakdown.
Oh,
so
maybe because of the relationship that you both had.
So after that time, I had an emotional breakdown. I was down for like 3 months, and I had mental health issues and all that. And I was able to come out of it. Okay. Prayers. Even my dad came then, and everybody was praying for me. My mom was praying from church to church. She was so worried and all that. But I came out.
Okay.
I came out of it. It was later when I became a certified life coach. I realized I actually had a nervous breakdown.
Oh, about the incident.
Yes, about the incident, about the panic. So when I'm talking from my own personal experience. So that's why I tell people, I said that, see, because I can imagine if my father was my mom then, my father would have pressed my mom that, "Look, it's not this bad." It's not this just bad. Like my husband would have done.
But still, the mom thing is always the mom thing.
Yes, so that's what I'm telling you, that that's why God put balance.
Okay.
So when we are talking, we need to talk from a place of balance.
Okay.
A lot of people, I love women. Women are doing great things. We are doing great things. Women are even raising. If you see, I have a friend of mine. She has raised a son. I'm like, hey, I wish that if I was still, this is like a guy that can get married to. Fantastic young boy, 17, is in charge of his life. She has done so well. Women are doing things. And sometimes I look at things on social media. I'm so proud to be a woman.
Yeah, like you can see what is going on.
But
like,
the truth of it is
making us proud.
God created the marriage institution for cohabitation, for help, for you to have support system, for you to have somebody that will love you unconditionally. He did not create it for us to be fighting. This one, you're supposed to do this one.
This one is not doing this one. Okay. This is that's about cohabiting and everything. There's a theme in marriage that I feel is very important, and that's the sex.
Oh, give it to me.
Yes, the sex. Because I realized that marriages and vanilla sex, they are like 5 and 6.
Which one is vanilla sex?
Thank you. Vanilla sex is regular sex. Missionary, man get on top, shike, we're done. And that, because you are always saying, reigniting passion. And when I hear reigniting passion, I'm thinking spicy sex life and all this stuff. Because it is very, very important. Some people, they're two different people's, different categories right now. Some are having sex. It's not great. Some are not having sex. I'm sure you people hear all these things. So what is your take on this whole marriage? Because I feel like after a while, it might get boring. And it is then, it is on us as a couple to, don't even get me started, because there's on that woman gender role thing, because I know you say I'm all for the women. Because let me tell you, the regular woman will say, you know what, I don't understand what's going on in my marriage, or, my husband is not having sex with me. I think it's like, are you looking nice? Are you wearing perfume? Did you shave your armpits? Did you get what? Hello, ask uncle. Did you shave? When was the last time you took off that boxers? Have you gone to go and work out? Do you look nice? Do I want to sleep with you? So that's where I'm coming from. That how does it work from your angle as a marriage coach? I'm sure you hear all this sex stuff.
What do you want to know? Because is it how to ignite your sex life?
Yes. Because there's some people that are watching
from your sex life. Okay, so there's something that we don't talk about a lot in, especially in churches, that we are silent about, which is sex. Number one thing is that sex must be learned. So a lot of people that get into sex, do not, that's what they are doing, is filtering. So many people that get to sleep together before marriage and all that is rubbish. You know why? Jabi, you are married now, Sister Tolu of God. In marriage, your husband will want to have sex when you don't feel like.
Exactly. When
you are not in the mood. When the last thing on your mind is sex. How do you constantly, satisfy a man? Because men are made for sex.
How do I satisfy myself as well?
Yes, wait, I'm coming. Let me tell you why. Number one, women, we are not made for sex. Wait, let me. Okay, do you know that a man, they call it be prepared? Are you always prepared? Like, men are always prepared. You don't need to stimulate them. Men, it is proven medically. It is proven in any way. If a man loves you, it doesn't need to. Men are made. They function like that.
Okay, there's a thing behind this whole sex thing. I don't know how it works. I think there's a theory like some people are I feel most women are responsive. And then men are, I don't know how they put it. Like some women need to be touched. That's why women are big on foreplay and all those kind of things. And while men, they can just be watching a movie or just, like, oh, I'm horny. Okay, fine.
No.
But I don't understand this whole, you need to satisfy. No, we need to satisfy each other.
I agree.
Do me, I do you.
But wait, yes, that's where we are coming to. That's where we are coming. They say it's glorious. But the truth of the matter is, first and foremost, we need to first accept the differences between men and women.
Go on.
Men are wired up like that.
Okay.
That's it. So a man doesn't need to prepare. If he sees you well, they'll say, babe, kill on shell and I'm going love. Bossy B is your husband. You understand? You might not even be in the mood, but leave me alone. I'm going out. Do you understand? So first and foremost, because of time, we first need to learn the act of sex. Yes, when I was getting married, there's sex coaches now certified that is what they are doing, and they are overwhelmed because the problems of sex. That's for another day. Now, when my husband was getting married, because he was there, we were churchy. My husband went to meet a guy in church and said, somebody he respected, and said he needs to, this sex thing. I'm getting married because in coaching rooms then we used to talk about sex 15 years ago. I just said that, okay, I'll be counseling rooms then. And so many people even get married without counseling. It's not like me, I came from an Islamic, so I didn't even get married in church. I did my marriage at the registry.
Okay.
So the truth of the matter is, we went to, but my husband was very grounded in church. Okay. So, and I too, I was just growing in church then. So he went to meet this, like an egbon and all that. And he said, he's only porn he watches. That if I want to learn about sex, I have to watch porn. My husband said, that's too hard. That kind of thing. So for the first early times of our marriage, it was guesswork.
Oh, wow.
It was guesswork. But a time came in my marriage, we looked at ourselves, I said, babe, we need to learn the act of, to enjoy this, to get the optimal satisfaction that you are looking for. And my husband and I started to read up, started to look, started to research. And we were glad at the things we learned. Although there's so much filth out there, you need to be able to, especially someone like me, I'm a Christian, I was able to see, I don't want this. This is too much for me. I don't want it. You understand? So you need to be able to sieve. Yes, there's nothing about it. It's your husband. Do you have any other person who'll be doing this thing?
Innit?
It's your husband. Go and learn it. And that's the crusade that we're going to start in TMC. By the grace of God, we are going to have one of our sex coaches, whereby as a married person, you think that you must learn it. Okay. You must learn to satisfy your heart. All this going and come out is not working.
Okay.
Because after a while, the woman just say, you know what, I'm not interested.
Anymore.
I'm tired. You understand? But the truth of it is, there's more. Lovemaking is not on that bed. Sex is not on that bed. It starts from the morning.
Oh, shit.
It starts with the text you send. Oh, it starts with the nice words. You treat your wife nicely. Some people say they don't want to have sex. They don't want to do this. You are not treating the person. It's a mind thing.
You know?
The first sexual organ you have is your mind. It's your mind. Yes, that's why some people can actually sleep with dogs. Because they accept in the mind that dog can satisfy me.
Okay.
So this first sexual organ you have is your mind. If you are not okay mentally, there's no way your sexual life will be good. It's not possible.
Okay. I don't know what I was thinking, No, but I think we are going to have Mr. Ololade come in the show again and come and give it to us. Because right now, I don't even think the time that we have is enough for her. But I have learned, she has schooled us. I don't know about you, but I have learned. And one of the tips that I learned with this whole sex thing with couples is that they said scheduled sex work. You can schedule it Friday or Monday morning, but whatever you do when you schedule sex, make sure that you keep to it, because that's what I heard. If you don't keep to it, then it's a problem. Well, your perfume look nice,
Who
you
told
know.
you to be scheduling?
I heard so.
If your husband ties you, I'll ties you that better.
No, spontaneous is still fine. You can still have extra stuff, but standard, you can schedule 3 days. I know that standard you're going to do. Well, it's still me. It's still me, Tolu, the Millennial Mom Show. You can follow us and join this conversation, because I'm going to make sure I put a lot about this conversation on our social media. Our social media handles are popping up on your screens. Do well to follow us, and we will catch you next time, same time, and we love you. Bye.